Let's talk about a specific flavor of sleep regression called nap strikes. A nap strike is when a kid has been taking a nap at a certain time and then they start refusing to take that nap. So, what are the different things a parent might think about if all of a sudden a nap that was dependable is not happening anymore?
Of course, the first thing they think is, oh, this child doesn't need this nap anymore. Babies dropping a nap, that's super common and expected. They're going to move from newborn 4 or 5 naps down to 3 naps, then to 2 naps. And then they get into the toddler years and they're on the 1 nap, and then they're on no naps. That's when it becomes a little hairy because a lot of times there is a lot going on developmentally as they move into toddlerhood. So that 2 to 1 nap transition is often rushed because one of the naps is short or skipped for a little bit. Parents think, okay, it's time. And they move to 1 nap and it's a disaster. The child maybe just turned 2 and having a nap strike, and the parents, oh, it's time to be done with naps. But then nighttime falls apart. And in reality, the child still needs the nap. I think when we're talking about infants, it's different than when we're talking about older toddlers and preschoolers.
Yeah, we were back and forth about when naps can tend to get drops. For example, babies that are taking the third nap give it up between 6 and 15 months. And I got this data from Iglowstein, which is the big paper on pediatric sleep patterns. And I'll talk about some limitations of that in a moment. And I know you say that usually it's younger in your hands with your patient populations, like around 9 months.
Yeah, and I would say
Um,
even 9 months is pretty late. Once we see those first 2 naps consolidating more, like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours each, that 3rd nap almost kind of messes with nighttime. So, when I'm working with people, I've even had 6-month-olds just drop, well, you said 6 to 15 months, but 6-month-olds that are taking 2-hour naps during the day, and they no longer need that 3rd nap. They just go down. Again, that's a higher sleep need baby, to be fair. And so they're going to bed earlier and sleeping 12 to 13 hours overnight. But usually, in my experience, no later than 9 months are they going down to 2 naps.
and the limitation of the Iglowstein paper as well is that these were Swiss children. This is a pretty homogeneous group of kids. And for example, we know that in African American children, they tend to nap later than Caucasian children.
Later in the
Like,
day?
just no, they like as they get older. Kids going from a morning and afternoon nap to an afternoon only nap. I think the Iglowstein stuff says 18 to 24 months, and you said younger than that, 13 to 18 months.
Yeah.
Iglowstein talked about kids giving up napping entirely between ages 2 to 4 years, and I know you're saying a little bit later, ages 3 to 5. We have sometimes pathologized kids who are going to kindergarten and still napping, but that is actually fairly common in African American children. So it's important to recognize with any of these data sets that who are the population of kids that were studied? There are healthy children that nap after school in kindergarten, and we
Mhm.
don't want to overly pathologize this. We don't want to get too much in the weeds here, but the idea that there is a huge range of times in which children may give up their afternoon nap.